the team we were just discussing is that it's such an opportunity to have, one of the business leader, corporate leaders, to be able to talk to them and be able to understand what is really happening in that segment, especially because we think that we are trying to help people to grow to that level where they can move into that stage with their confidence, their being able to speak well. And we just wanted to hear from you how you feel it's important.
No, I'm thankful, Mr. Bhowmick. I think so. Youngsters are there in today's world. A lot of the business environment is changing, and if you're meeting different types of people, you will not always get to meet people from your same type of field or from the same mindset. You will meet diverse group of people. How do you connect the diverse set of people is going to be very important as you grow. When you are starting at different phases of your career, when you're starting, you have certain requirements in communication, or how you want to grow your network. When you're in your middle of your career, how you do that, and when you're growing, when you're in the growth phase of your career, how you do that. So there are different phases in how you people would need to engage themselves in these conversations. That's very important in today's world.
Yes, sir. We are looking forward to more such insightful conversations with you. And for that, we'll just kickstart with the usual process and Dhruv, over to you.
So, thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Toastmaster Ria. Good evening to all my fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. I welcome you all to the meeting number 711 of Blue Quest Toastmasters Club. I am Dhruv Gupta, your sergeant at arms for today. At Toastmasters, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. You are now inside the code of conduct of a Toastmasters meeting. The following are the meeting rules. Please be advised that the meeting is being recorded and pausing the recording at a given point of time may not be possible. Please be advised that any behavior that disturbs the flow of the meeting will result in removal from the meeting without any warning. Please ensure that all of your noise making devices are either switched off or on silent mode. Role players, please rename yourselves according to your roles. Please speak responsibly on sex, religion, and politics in your speeches. We sincerely request you to not to send chat messages to everyone or the person on stage. As far as possible, please keep your videos on and audios off and applause flowing throughout. We encourage you to use Zoom emoticons and your beautiful smiles generously to encourage the role players. Be the kind of audience you would like to have for yourself. Now, I would like to introduce our very own presiding officer for today, Toastmaster Ria.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dhruv, and I welcome you all to another meeting of Blue Quest Toastmasters. I hope you had a great festive week last week. And this week is more special for Blue Quest, not only because we come after a pause, but also because this is the fifth episode of our very own talk show series. The talk show series that started uh, as a move to bring in guest leaders and veterans from the Toastmasters fraternity business world to help us understand what we as individuals can improve upon ourselves and in ourselves on a regular and daily basis. This time around, we have a person who comes from a business world, our very first guest, who's not a Toastmaster, but comes from a varied experience of working in different domains. His journey is nothing short of inspiring, with diverse background in sales, retail, corporate strategy, and business management. He is the whole-time director and CEO of Embody Enterprises Limited. He is a catalyst for growth and innovation. I'll not stand in between the talk show that we have today, lined up with lots and lots of questions for Mr. Chandrasekhar from both our hosts and our audience after that. So, with that, I encourage you all to keep on asking questions and let's get the most out of today's talk show. Over to you, Toastmaster Manish, for the further talk show.
So,
Thank you,
am I
Ria,
audible?
for your introduction. With all humility, it's inspiring to speak to a group of youngsters. So let's hope you can benefit from the two bits of experiences I have.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. So, I hope, Priya, I'm audible and my video is also working. Right. Great. Thank you. So, before we start, Mr. Chandrasekhar, a very hearty welcome from Toastmasters and all of us from our side. It's an honor to have you, sir, today with us. And we all are very eager to get valuable insights from you on the qualities that makes a great leader and how we can elevate our skill sets related to communication and confidence level. So with that in mind, let's jump right in. Confidence is contagious. So is lack of confidence, famously said by Vince Lombardi. Drawing from that quote, my first question to you is, what are your thoughts on the importance of confidence in a good leader? So I hope I'm
Sure, Manish, you're absolutely audible. See, confidence is everything. If you say in a particular engagement or in a discussion, but how does your confidence come from? So confidence is not it's a balloon of air. A confidence is content. So, and a confidence is what you are really made up of, and what sort of truth is behind you, and what is coming from you. So confidence is something which is poise. Confidence is something which is your clarity. Confidence is something which is giving you an impactful speech. So confidence is a bundle. So when you see a person, when you see a leader, you can see a political leader, you can see a business leader, you can see a religious leader. It is that conviction that person brings to the table. That is confidence. Can he make a non-believer into a believer? That is a confidence. So confidence is all about that delivery. Confidence is all about that poise. Confidence is all about the content. You can talk about the three C's of communication, of clarity, conciseness, and in terms of consistency, whatever. But it is just that is a book or that is a definition. But this conviction, the other C, with what you're delivering or the truth or the purpose statement which you're delivering, that is confidence. So you can have various sorts of message deliveries, communication deliveries to talk about confidence. But confidence comes from where you are coming from. Are you a subject matter expert, or you a domain expert, or you've done your homework well, or you want to impress? So all of this. So confidence is, if you ask me, if you're getting into an interview, if you're going for a business meeting, you're going for an elevator pitch, you're going for let's say, a sales meeting, everything depends upon your state of mind, your poise, and your homework which you do. So that is confidence to me. And I think so. This is why confidence is so important in today's world. And real confidence can be spotted a mile away. People like us can spot the fakes and the air and the real confidence and the real content. So content is confidence. So that's what I would have to talk to you about confidence and how important is confidence in whether anything which you're facing today.
great, Mr. Chandrasekhar. So confidence is content, conviction, and how you deliver your point to make others convert to or adhere to your points which you're saying. Thank you for that.
And
Moving
just
to
to add on to it,
No, sir.
there are various deliveries, the various styles of delivery. So
Right.
there are the styles of delivery which gives so confidence on the listener and confidence on the speaker. It's both. So its confidence is not one-sided. The speaker needs to speak with confidence, and the listener has to build that confidence in him that, hey, this guy is here delivering content to me and has got a meaningful. That is when the connection happens. So that connection is also part of that confidence exercise.
Right. So that is when the real communication happen.
Exactly.
When both are at the same level.
Exactly.
Thank you for that. So moving on to the next question, sir, and it's a two-part question.
Yeah, please.
How does effective communication contribute to an individual's success in an organization or for their personal growth? And what common mistakes have you observed people making when conveying some kind of important information to you?
Okay, so this also has got two parts to it. I'll take the first part, how effective communication important, and second is the mistakes which people do. I'll give you two powerful statements. One is a urban myth. It is attributed to Jack Welch at GE. So at Jack Welch, once somebody asked him, why is GE such a great organization? So he made one statement saying, in GE there is no quality function. So everybody was like, what are you saying? How can a company like this can't have a quality function? He says everybody works for quality. So that means when every single individual is committed, so that is the power of communication. So he's made such a statement that it remains in that person's mindset. That means it's an impactful statement. So communication is all about impactful statements. So when Jack Welch is attributed to saying that in GE there is no quality department, that is raising what do you call inquisitiveness in the person, and saying that everybody works for quality means you're reinforcing what you said. Let's say again one more thing. Let's talk about a political statement. When Trump says make America great again, he's talking about a statement. That's a communication. If today he has won the elections, there can be so many diverse voices. He's wrong, he's right. Let's not get into that. Let's get into a powerful statement, the America first. So when he's communicating that, so a non-believer, people in the swing states who have voted for him, whether he delivers or not, but the non-believer wanting to believe in what he's saying, make America great again, I put America first, is what the gist of everything coming in. So that powerful, being able to make these powerful communication statements is very important. Go back into history. One of the greatest generals in the world, which you knew, was a guy called General Patton. When he was in the South, if you watch the movie Patton, you will see there's an inspiring speech which he makes to the American soldiers there. And it's at the beginning of the movie, and then there's also at the end of the. It's all about no nonsense. It's a command. So the person everybody even talks about has to believe in it. It's similar to like a football coach. Sir Alex Ferguson, when he speaks at a football match, he knows what people the content is talking about. So that conviction and these statements which you make makes this communication so powerful going in. Now, what mistakes you make? Mistakes that a communication is making is when you make a communication akin to a presentation, saying that I want to say what I have to say. That's the first mistake. You have to keep in mind who's your audience, who's your listener, who's listening to you. What does he want to hear? You may have content. You're not a preacher. You can preach to 100 people and hope that there's one guy who's getting converting. That's preaching. Communication is not preaching. Communication is connecting. So when people make presentations, it's a very common mistake people do. You will fill up slides. You will read out the slides. The audience loses interest. You feel happy. I had to say so much. I've given this content. But have you delivered? Have you connected? There could be so many simpler ways to connect. Break the ice. Talk a joke. Do storytelling. Talk about icebreaker. All you need to remember is how do I get that other person to believe in me, not you transferring the message to the other person. It's the other way around. So when you're going for a board meeting, when we make board presentations, you know you have so much time, or as simple as an elevator pitch, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. How do you make? That is the best communicator. So are you being able to address to what the listener's point is? Are you able to address his concerns? Are you able to take him along with your journey? Not talk about, so you can talk about your journey, but that has to connect with that person's, resonate with that particular person. So that is a mistake which most people do in communication. Communication cannot be a monologue. There are some powerful monologue communications, yes, I don't say some time and again it's required. But the large part of the relevance we are talking about is corporate communication in terms of businesses, in terms of the competitive world it has to be a dialogue. So when you're communicating, are you listening? Are you able to adjust your communication to what? So tomorrow you may make a presentation, you may not be prepared. The questions can throw you completely off track. So are you able to adjust? Are you able to immediately do a little bit of a course change to get the message across? So these are common mistakes. Never focus on you, focus on the person or the audience which is there. So that's a very common mistake people do in terms of all communication strategies. People come prepared, but prepared doesn't mean you have to be prepared for the audience, not prepared yourself.
Right.
So that's one very simple common mistake which people do. The other common mistakes people do in communication is they come underprepared to one extent, thinking that, hey, I know this is what I can do, this, and you try to underestimate an audience. Remember, it's not only your content or subject matter, how well are you prepared around it also. It's not only what you can be asked questions out of the box. So how good are you in your out of the box thinking to be prepared in a communication? It could be any meeting. In a accounts interview, if somebody asks you about what will happen if Trump's win, what is the impact of Trump's win on the Indian economy, are you prepared to answer that question? You may think, hey, I came for a accounts job. Why is this man asking me an irrelevant question? It shows how well are you willing to communicate and how well are you prepared along with the rest of your subject matter. So that's one way I look at it.
Thank you. So two things I will take away from this: commit to what presentation or what meeting you're going for, prepare yourselves, and understand your audience and provide an impactful statement or impactful information to them, which they want to know. Thank you for that. Moving on. So Mr. Chandrasekhar, when it comes to leading teams and inspiring people, there is often more to it than just exchanging information. And that is what brings to my next question. That what are the key qualities or skill set do you think define a strong leader in today's challenging times? Mr. Chandrasekhar?
I think he'll join back. Probably some
Hmm.
connectivity issue.
Sure. Sorry, sir, mute if you're saying something.
Diana, what you have written, we will read it out after the talk is over. We cannot interrupt the talk now. Is that okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
So, Mr.
I'm sorry,
Chandrasekhar.
everybody. I think there was a power. We're back.
That's okay. We
Yes.
understand.
I'm sorry. Yeah, please, Manish.
So I was asking, sir, that what key qualities or skill set do you think define a strong leader in today's challenging times?
See, in terms of, as I said, one is that confidence you spoke about. Your credibility plays a very important role. The charisma of the speaker plays a very important role, and your ability to connect. That means, are you able to connect from, let's say, a CEO level to a middle manager level to a junior? Your ability to connect is very important in today's world in a leadership. It mostly we make the mistake we tend to mingle with only our peers. But your ability to go down and up the ladder is extremely important in your growth factor. So let's say if you're a factory middle manager, you knowing where your workers' problem, your people's problem, ability to connect with people and talk to them, and then only you're in the problem. It's not a problem solving mode, but you're able to listen and get assimilate the feedback. And then you're going up and talking, understanding what the communication is, and then linking both. It becomes a larger organizational perspectives. So it's very important that retaining that organizational perspective and being able to command that through the line connect, whether it's from a shop floor worker to a senior manager. It's very important in today's leadership, as a very important skill in a leadership. So some of them are given, whether your capability, your content, and what your domain matters. So that's why you're in the job. But how do you excel in the job? How are you a better leader than the rest? A good leader doesn't sit down on his books and give throws command. And he definitely gives directions. But if required, he can come down the line and show how it is done, inspire that confidence, and also go up the line and tell them how to lead. So that ability to move seamlessly between all the ranks is important. You'd see this in great army units. You see this in great corporate. So sometimes a retail store, a corporate organization, and an army work very similarly. And there are very power-centric leaders, and they're very inclusive leaders. So this, what I'm talking about, is a trait of an inclusive leader. So he takes you along, he comes down, goes up, and that's a very important part in a leadership skill which is required. And all of this needs to be a good communicator. Absolutely. And how well you speak, how well you're able to inspire. All this is communication only.
Right. So able to connect with people across the value chain and be an inclusive leader.
Yes. Yes, Manish.
Right. So before we wrap up, my last question to you is, and I'd like to look at your personal journey a bit more closely. Looking back on your career, which skill or leadership lesson has proven most valuable to you? Would you like to share with us?
Which leadership lesson?
Yes, skill or leadership lesson that has proven most valuable to you in your journey.
See, I've had the privilege of working with great people who have been good communicators, good leaders. I worked with the Tata Group for 11 years, and then with the MNC for some, and then with the Murugappa Group for 18 years. One of the things which teaches me very importantly, the first thing is humility. And whether it's humility from the leadership or the senior, it's very important. So if I tell you, there are very small anecdote stories. The person who's the chairman of Vistara today, Mr. Bhaskar, but he used to be the MD of Titan some point of when I used to be in Titan. When we were very junior level officers, we were just entry level territory officers, area officers. A Bhaskar Bhatt would know by name your name, your wife's name, and your children's name. He did not know that. He knows that. So he knows how to connect. So every time he comes and asks you something, he knows, hey, this man knows me. He knows how to wish to you. He knows how to talk to you. He knows how to come down. He doesn't talk from here down to you. He comes down to you and then speak to you. So this is a great example of a leader. Then I'll talk about a person, Mr. M.M. Murugappan. He's the chairman of the Murugappa Group. When I met him for when he first wanted to interview me for a job, he wanted me to take over as head of retail for TI Cycles. So I met him at a guest house in Delhi. You know, he greeted me. He said, it was around 12:30. He said, Casey, did you have lunch? I said, no, sir, I've just come back. I'll go back to office and then have lunch. He said, what's the hurry? Sit down. We spoke. He made me at ease. We had a very simple lunch, with a simple vegetarian lunch at the guest house. We didn't speak anything about work. We didn't speak anything about anything. We just communicated. We just talked. We just wanted to know whether you're comfortable with each other. And while you are departing, you will say, somebody from the office will want to come and speak to you. So how are you able to talk to people? And these are examples of great leadership qualities. he is able to assess you in your communication. He knows that you're already there. You're meeting him because you're competent. But he wants to assess you as an individual. He wants to assess your qualities. There are many other small anecdotes. And also the other very important thing which I've learned from people, even Mr. Bhaumik, I've known him personally and we talk about it. It's how well you are able to connect to different subject matters. I may be a retail expert, but am I able to talk about because you are meeting different people? Am I able to talk about a football? Am I able to talk about politics? Am I able to talk about music? Okay, I am an Indian. I only know, let's say, Arijit Singh, or I know Shreya Ghoshal. But no, do I know about a music? What happened in the 70s? Do I know what is rock? What do I know? What is a reggae? Do I know what is the pop music? You need not be the singer, but if are you able to hold conversations? And this is what I've learned from leaders like Bhaskar Bhatt, from Biju Kurian, from C.K. Venkatraman, who's the present MD of Titan. These are people whom I've worked with in the retail field, and they're simple doyens of retail. They can walk in and they can inspire anybody in the room. So one of the things to inspire me was to give empowerment. So I had once, this is a year, I think so, 2005, we were doing a campaign for Tanish before Diwali. So I had taken an artwork to him and went to show it to him and said, CKV, will this work? So he said, then he looked back, you tell me, will this work? I said, I'm not sure. That's why I've come to you. He said, well, if you think you've put in a hard work behind it, it must work. And I said, if it doesn't work, he says, don't make the same mistake again. So what does it mean? The leader is there to back you. So one of those important things is leaders should be able to back their team. If there's a mistake, tell him, yes, we are there for you. Make one mistake. And that's an organizational thing. Don't make the same mistake twice. That's stupidity. But you willing to experiment, you willing to take that and willing to back your team. So that teaches me today to give empowerment. For me, I am the last micromanager. Micromanagement, yeah, sometimes it's required, sometimes follow-up is required. That's a different mechanism. But when you're a leader, when you're wearing the leader's cap, being able to make empowerment is so important. Whether it is the shop floor manager, whether it is the middle manager or the senior manager, then only you make responsible people into accountable people. So these are the learnings. So everybody can be responsible. We are all responsible. But are you willing to deliver? You tell a person, you are responsible, he's happy. He gets a C in appraisal rating, he's an average standard rating. But when you tell him you are in charge of a P&L, that you have to deliver, then he becomes a what you call a super achiever. Then you know that whether the person is ready to step up to the job or not. So empowerment is something which I've learned from leaders with whom I've worked with. There are many other examples with great leaders I've worked with throughout my career. So these people have always inspired me that have faith on your team, build your team, communicate well with your team, dwell on storytelling, make real. And this always I learned with the Tatas, storytelling. So today, even if you see Harish Bhatt's book about the 150 Tata stories, I advise all of you to buy that book and read it. Each of the stories is inspiring, whether it's the formation of how Titan was formed, what happened when Tata Telecom, when Ratan Tata stood by and said when they were about to lose 180 crores, or when Tata Finance was going down and how he protected people's money by saying, I will back the guarantees of 700 crores. There are so many stories. It shows all about believing in people, trusting in people. So that belief, it's a very important part of your leadership growth and skill. Don't hold on to anything. Remember, change is the only constant. If you hold on to something, you will get emotionally, physically attached to it. The moment you're able to let go, and that, ability to let go assessment is in your hand. How much you should let go, how much you should not. But the ability to let go makes you a big leader. That is empowerment.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chandrasekhar. It's inspiring to hear your story. And with this, I would thank you again for providing us with such valuable insights, Chandrasekhar.
Thank you so much. I get to speak to you people. I hope I've been of some interest, not just talk. general discussion. Some of these are from real life, so I thought maybe it's good to share with you
You
guys.
have crafted your story so beautifully that it was very easy for us to understand, and there are some critical information which I will take it forward and definitely read that book also in order to improve our storytelling skills. Now, before we let you go, sir, I'll just open the floor for Q&A session for our audience. So Ria has raised her hand. So Ria,
Yeah, please, Ria, go ahead.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manish, and thank you, Mr. Chandrasekhar, for such an enriching talk. I literally have a page written of all the key takeaways that I'm going to take back.
Don't embarrass me this way.
I have one question, and this is a question that I've kind of carried for a very long time. In the corporate world today, or even in any leadership position, it's very important. Or I would say not only in a leadership position, in any position, it's very important to have a perfect balance in between visibility and work, right? In like portraying your work in front of the leaders and your managers specifically. So what is your opinion on content plus maybe a bit of self appraisal, putting yourself forward, that in limelight in front of a lot of people? What is your take on it?
I think so. I'm very used to this subject because I've been lecturing somebody on this and how to get yourself noticed in an organization. Somebody else has been asking me for feedback, and I've been telling him. First, one of the things is that in India, the corporate structure, unfortunately, has its own fallacies in which the suck-up culture is extremely, prevalent in a lot of organizations. So first of all, there are two things which you cannot, run away from, and two things which you cannot choose yourself. Everything else in the world you can choose. One is your parents, and the other is your boss. The rest, anybody you can choose, anything you can do with, and you can get rid of also. These two people you can't get rid of. So coming back to the humor part of it, in terms of how to get work notices, in terms of is first be a beaver. Being a beaver means delivering, working what is required to be done. And first of all, remember this advice is very different from an Indian workspace and from a international workspace. In the international workspace, work is your own individual. You are not threatened by people who would like to usurp your work, or in terms of your credit. But in what you should do is you should always prepare a good set of documentation. You should always have data flow. Sometimes verbal communication is not in terms of corridor communications. Just passing communication is not good. You should always build a strong, robust document, a fact sheet, a worksheet in which all of yours is documented and when it was done, and periodically have it reviewed with the intermediate managers. So when you go for an appraisal, let's say, and you want to showcase your work, there is you don't have to reach out and say, oh, do you remember I did this? Do you remember I did that? So it is well documented. I've seen people and I advise people, keep your dossier ready. It's fail-proof It's fail-proof. This is a project which I've done. This is what I've contributed. See, you don't need your boss to notice you. You have built it for him to take notice of it. And this happens in when you're in a small organization, everybody is friendly, known to each other, that's one. But when you're a very large organization, when team sizes could be 50 upwards, 100 upwards, this is what is required if you have to stand out, other than being a suck-up expert.
Got it. I'll take that as a feedback and use it in my appraisal cycle. Thank you so much.
Pleasure's mine.
right?
Yes.
We have Surinder sir. Yes.
Sure. Please go ahead.
Raju, I'm sorry, I'll name you by what I always call you, as Raju. Raju, you mentioned about the Tata organization, and you gave me some beautiful stories, which I, as someone who's worked in the Tatas, have also seen it. I just wanted to mention one, and that is when I was in the 80s in Jamshedpur, I had the opportunity of seeing Mr. Rusi Modi, who is the chairman and managing director of Tata Steel, now Tata Steel at that time, Tisco,
Yeah.
of walking on the shop floor and just going and tapping someone, a worker, absolute junior worker, and telling him or talking to him and finding out how he is. And then checking out how his family is. Just like you said, they know their names and things like that.
Correct.
And I think that was my learning in the life, that a manager must give his juniors that support, that we are there for you and I know you, and they will do anything for you, anything. Tata Steel has never had a strike after 1940, I think 1953. And that was purely because they look after their people. And as a manager, the communication at that level is such an important factor. You don't have to go into many details, but just give a tap on the back of the person and say, how are you? How is the family? And that can change the entire situation. And I must also add that many years back, I was handling a plant in Chennai, and I didn't know a word of Tamil. And a day so happened that I walked into the office and I found that the entire plant was down. There's no work going on. So I checked with my HR man, and I was told that they've gone on strike because the coffee which was served was not sweet enough. And I just walked across in front of the laborers, took out a 100 rupees note from my pocket and gave it to the contractor, saying that please buy a bag of sugar, add it in coffee, and give 2 extra coffees today to to all our workers. And believe me, for 3 years that I was there after that, we never had a union problem. Whenever they had a problem, they would come to us, talk to us, and in most of the cases, we were able to negotiate and come out of it purely because of that relationship. So communication at the relationship level is, I think, a very, very strong point. You have also
Yes, Mr.
mentioned a
Bhavik, I
lot
think
of
so.
this.
Just reinforcing what you said, one of the other very important qualities is till date, some of the, and I will not name some of the chairmen, some of the MDs and the managers and the family members still come down to the canteen, have food with every employee and workers which is there. So they don't have the privilege, they don't take the privilege of having the food in their rooms or a separate canteen. So it's a typical difference from a British MNC where there's a Gora Sahab or the senior managers have a different canteen food and the workers have a different canteen. So that is also in the Tata Group, they democratize this for a very long time, that food will be had together. It's the same food which is served, nothing else. And that's one of the reasons when workers know I am a part of the company. It's not that, yes, he may be a senior person, he's a different thing, but we're all part of the same.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I can see some more hands through, and I can see.
Diana.
Yes.
Yeah.
Diana, you can send us your question on the chat, and I will ask that question. If you have a question, Diana.
Over to you, Dhruv.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manish, and thank you, Toastmaster Chandrasekhar, for such an insightful knowledge that you are giving us today. So I have a question that what can be the most important skills or quality that someone who is just starting in the industry must focus so that he can grow or transit or can have a smooth transition into a leadership role?
Okay. If for me, that's one very simple answer to give. Be a sponge. Soak in. There is nothing more than keeping your eyes and ears open and learning learning what you call, every organization has its own DNA. Trying to merge yourself into the organization. Sometimes you feel lost. Sometimes, and that's what sometimes HR is supposed to do. Integrate the person in the organization. But integration is one thing, and you trying to learn and be a sponge. And so there will be various people throwing different things at you at all the time. Are you able to take it in? Are you able to and assimilate all of that? You may not be making much sense out of it at the very initial beginning, but once you're able to take all of it in and then filter it and process it, and that's when your true integration with the organization will start. Am I able to understand? And definitely, this is a factor of what your manager throws at you, factor of what HR throws at you, what the organization throws at you. But the willingness of the person to absorb it and learn it is very important. And for that, you need to have the right sense of what you call mindset to do it. Oh, this is not what I was here. Why is it? So it's like ability to keep an open mind. And if you may see, you may be in for a particular project, but the work which is being given to you tomorrow could be different. So that is the importance I'm saying. Widen your horizon, learn. The initial phases of your careers, just keep your heads down and learn. And that's how we have grown. And believe me, I have ended up doing jobs which are never supposed to be done by me. But how? It's because of the situation or the ability to throw at it. So I would tell the organization, throw things at me, whatever you want to throw at me. If I'm able to juggle the balls, I'll do it. If I can't, I will tell you it can't be done. So that ability to, so then the organization starts realizing, hey, this guy is willing to learn, this guy is willing to absorb, willing to take it in. And that's when you start getting noticed.
Thank you. Thank you, Dhruv, for
Thank
that
you, sir.
question. So with that, thank you so much, Mr. Chandrasekhar, for sharing such rich insights and wisdom with us today. Your
I still
journey.
see one hand from Diana. So,
There are no questions.
Bhavik, is the question? Is she typing in a question? Should I?
So, answer, you're in mute.
I think even actually Ramurthy has to leave because he has a
Yeah,
deadline
I have
of
a
7:45.
I've got a few more minutes, 2-3 more minutes before I leave for a customer meeting. So otherwise, you can send me the question, Ria. You can take the question and send it to me. I can always make a voice note and answer that if that helps.
Yeah.
That will work.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. So again, thank you so much. And your journey is proof that, sir, ki continuous learning, being humble, and showing conviction and showing resilience will help us be a better leader. And we also learned lots of strategies and pitfalls we should take care in order to be better at our communication and be a better leader. Any final thoughts you'd like to share with our audience before we wrap up this talk show, sir?
See, I have 3 points which I tell my people in terms of in my corporate world. We talk of 3 C's of communication. I talk of 3 C's of the business which we build on. See, for communication is one part of that C. There are 2 more C's which I talk about. The next, which is the most important C for me, is collaboration. Collaboration means being able to work and listen to each other and create a shared story. So without that means you stop working in silos. So first is the communication part, then comes the collaboration part, and thirdly, which youngsters have been talking about, building your competency part. So for being a leader, ability to communicate, ability to collaborate, and building your core sets of competencies around which you're able to make these the point 1 and 2 gives you the ideal scope of being a good leader who can be recognized across you, and you can flow across industries. You don't need to be stuck in one. You can flow across organizations, you can flow across industries and still retain your core competency and your core this attitude towards being a leader. So that's the thought I would like to leave with you.
Right. So I hope everyone in the audience and personally me would love this attitude of being 3 C's capable. So thank you so much, Mr. Chandrasekhar, again. And I would request everyone in the audience to please give a big round of applause before we wrap up this session.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Diana.
Thank you, Raju. It was
now
absolutely blessed. Yeah. Absolutely blessed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
God bless.
Thank you so much.
God bless.
Can I exit, please?
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you once again. Uh, Guys, I'm continuing with the meeting. Diana wanted to introduce herself by saying that my name is Diana. I am Toastmaster about 30 years and am a D96 Oshawa. That personal and grow that powerful speech on chat box in Zoom meeting with my improve better someday. I would like as DTM secretary this club with disability skills very high. I have lots of practice that speak that powerful insight. That my prove is very community skill as well. That my icebreaker speech does organizer on note down. Diana, we are always indebted to you for joining our club and enriching our ability to understand and to be able to work with you in improving things in life. And we learn so much from you. Your every toast, every meeting that you participate, you give us a new avenue to think in life and be successful and be able to help people in improving in their lives. Thank you very much. And please continue joining us in future meetings. Thank you so much. Thank you, Diana.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Jitendra sir, I was hoping that you would ask a question because he is he is presently a Rotarian. And in fact, today from morning, I've been trying to talk to you, but somehow I've not been able to
Okay,
speak to
just
you.
I reached a while ago.
Yeah. I wanted to actually request you to talk because he is very well aware of things and as a person who has grown
I just
and is a very
reached, so I
successful
thought
manager.
let me. He will be there couple of minutes. By the time I was ready, he was about to leave. Okay.
Unfortunately. But if you have a question, please do
Yeah,
send it.
sure.
I will pass it on to him and we'll get an answer from
Sure.
you. Yes, ma'am, you can continue.
Yes, sir. So now it's time for the table topic section, who's being headed by none other than our VP at Toastmaster Dhruv. Over to you, Toastmaster Dhruv.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ria. So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, today I have the pleasure of guiding you through an exciting section of table topics. Remember that there are no correct answers or wrong answers here. Just it is about your unique perspectives about the topic. So let us embrace this opportunity to share our thoughts, learn from each other, and most importantly, have fun. So, this a table topic would be of 1 to 2 minutes. Timer Toastmaster Manish would show a green card at 1 minute, a yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and a red card at 2 minutes. So I will send a question to Toastmaster Diana. Meanwhile, anybody would like to volunteer? Please raise your hands.
You decide who is going to take on.
Yeah,
You
just a second. I'm sending the question to Diana. Just a second. Toastmaster Diana, I have sent the question to you on messages, chat. You could start with that. Okay, I see Toastmaster Bob's hand raised. Toastmaster Bob, the topic, could you please turn your video on if possible? Thank you, Toastmaster Bob. So the topic for you would be, how do you think Diwali celebrations have changed over the years? How do you think Diwali celebrations have changed over the years, Toastmaster Bob?
Hello, Toastmaster Dhruv. Thank you for the question. Diwali celebration has changed quite a bit over the years. Now, when we talk about over the years, if we say in the short run over the last 5 years, Diwali celebration has changed in the sense, let's start with the crackers, right? So, uh, up till a few years back, crackers used to be, patakas used to be very common, and a lot of people used to burst it. But now people have become more conscious about the ill effects of it. The government has become more conscious about the ill effects of crackers. So there's been a lot of regulations. There's been a lot of changes in people's behavior when it comes to using crackers. So that is one aspect that I see has changed over the years. Second aspect that I've seen is just let's take the example of Rangoli, right? It used to be that people did make rangolis, but it wasn't very common. It wasn't very popular. But over the years, now it's becoming more and more popular with people. A lot of the houses having rangolis and rangoli competition in societies. So rangoli has become a bigger part of the whole Diwali celebration. It's one of those creative ways of showing your creativity. In terms of the puja itself, I think it has become a lot more commercialized.
Hello.
So I think the part of the puja or the auspicious givings that we give to the god has gone down, and it's more about family gatherings, more about enjoying as a family, more about going out. It's become commercial with clothes, like new clothes and all of that. So Diwali has changed quite a bit from being a simple celebration of Lord Lakshmi to becoming a more of a family event, which necessarily I'm not saying is a bad thing. It's definitely brought people closer together. It's brought family closer together. It's brought society closer together. It's added a lot more fun to the whole celebration of Diwali. So with that, I'd like to end my table topic session here and hand it back to you, Toastmaster Dhruv. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bob. And I also personally think that Diwali has been much more commercialized than it was before. But yeah, it has still has its essence of bringing the communities together to celebrate and have fun. So who would like to have next table topic? Okay, Toastmaster Manish. So the topic for you would be, if you could be remembered for one thing, what would it be? I will time for you.
If I could remember for one thing, what it be? So since childhood, there is one need or one necessity which I always feel is that if I go away after some time, at least one person in the whole earth should remember that yes, Manish was the one who has done something for him or her. So I think that is something which helped me drive throughout my journey when I was in college, when I was struggling, and then finally when I got a job. I was working day and night just in order to ensure that yes, I found those group of individuals, who can say one day that yes, this guy has gone, but he has done this or that in and help them in improving their life or improving their journey when they were working with me. And I think there are a couple of instances which help me understand that yes, somewhat I were able to achieve. Like we have this Guru Purnima. So one of my client's manager, so I was working with him, I was training him on change management, continuous improvement, and all those things. So in Guru Purnima, he came to our house and he touched my feet. I was younger than him, but because I was training him, so that was something which created some kind of a brought some kind of a calm into me, that yes, at least I started achieving that goal of mine. So that is what I want to know or remember by when I leave this place. So thank you, Dhruv, for that question. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manish, and definitely it was a very nice idea to be remembered that this person helped me in this way or that. So I see Toastmaster Mandeep after a very long time. Toastmaster Mandeep, can you have a topic? I think she's not in the meeting right now. Toastmaster Shorendra, would you have? So a perfect topic. Hi, Toastmaster
You
Mandeep.
can ask Mandeep.
Mandeep, your voice is not audible actually.
Is it better now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So the topic for you would be if you had to give a TED talk tomorrow, what would be it about?
If I get this chance to deliver a TED talk tomorrow morning, firstly, I will feel a hell lot of butterflies in my stomach, but I'll try my best to get over it and start thinking about the topic that I wanted to deliver a speech around. So there are two topics that are very close to my heart. I have delivered speech around that in uh, my Toastmasters club, and it went really great. So I could choose the topic of mentoring, like what mentors did in my life, how I think that I am going pursuing my mentoring journey, mentoring others. This is the one topic that is really close to my heart. And other thing that I always talk about is hard work over smart work. Like, people in my life always told me this thing that you should do smart work, but ultimately what works for me was the hard work. So I'm a believer that there's nothing like smart work. It's just about you have to do the hard work at the right time. That's what called the smart work. So if I get this chance to deliver a TED talk tomorrow morning, I will choose either of this topic. It depends upon once I start writing, for which I have more content, I will go with that. So thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mandeep. So next, Toastmaster Shorendra, can we have a topic for you?
Sure.
Okay. So the topic for you would be if you could live one day as someone else, who would it be? If you could live one day as someone else, who would it be? Toastmaster Shorendra.
If I had to live as someone else, would I have to be an imposter or a genuine person who I appreciate and would like to go on his or her path? As an imposter, I would try to understand what are the positives that he can gain, which I in turn can imbibe in my own life, so that I can in that one day gather as much I can for which I would like to be an imposter. But if I genuinely want to follow someone who I greatly appreciate, and I would like to spread some of the affections that the person has gathered over the years, I would want to be like someone who has motivated me, and I would want to use that same process in helping people. I, many years back, had the opportunity of meeting someone who had nothing in life, really. I mean, he did not aspire to have anything in life. He was a PhD and was working in a very senior position. And then he gave up everything to join the Ramakrishna mission as a monk. At the age of 45, he took on that role, and then his time was spent in wanting to help the community in its times of worry and concern. I would definitely would like to be like him. If ever God gives me that opportunity, I would like to be that. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shirendra, and a very wonderful idea that it was wonderful. You would surely be a wonderful person, and you are very helpful now also. A lot of us are being helped by you only. So I guess only Toastmaster Ragini is left.
Jitu is there.
Oh yeah. Toastmaster
Jitu,
Jitendra.
Ragini.
Yeah, it's I'm available.
Okay,
Ragini.
let us
Ragini.
start with that. So Toastmaster Ragini, if you could instantly change one thing about the world, what would it be? If you could instantly change one thing about the world, what would it be? Toastmaster Ragini.
If I could change instantly one thing about the world right now, my answer is pretty straightforward. I would like to reverse the climate change mishap happening. While there is a debate going on that climate change may or may not be real, the consequences are so real that even sitting on November 7th, end of the year, we have absolutely no temperature drop. And a person who used to be afraid of cold can sit in a room full of AC still bursting at its maximum. I do not want to even hypothesize what is coming next for all of us. What is the world that we are creating for ourselves and our children? And given this environment that we are in, even 10 years hence, do I even want another living being coming? Such are the questions that are coming in my head, considering the age group that we are in, the impact it is going to create for us. So, is it a lifetime of loneliness for ourselves as a family, or is it a lifetime of doomed environment for the next generation to come? I am not aware. So, if I have to change today anything, this is the first thing I would like to change: reverse the climate change.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ragini. And I can say this thing for sure that climate change is real. This time when I went to my hometown, Faridabad, I was shocked to see that the AC was running and the fan was at full speed, and we were still feeling there was warm. There was no sense of cold this time. Like the whole winter season has somewhat like shifted like 1 or 2 months. Earlier, November used to be one of the cold months, I remember. So climate change is seriously at its has started it. So Toastmaster Jitendra, can you take on topic?
Yes.
Okay. Toastmaster Jitendra, if you could live without fear for a day, what would you do? If you could live fear without fear for a day, what would you do, Toastmaster Jitendra?
Here, I can say I don't have any study proof for that, but I can say around 99.99% live with fear. Like it is said, man is born free, but everywhere is in chains. Actually, is in the chains of fear. He fear as they grow up as a child, due to discipline and all, the parents also has to what you can say, beat is not a good word, try to make them in a discipline, so they have to make in discipline. So once the discipline comes, the fear starts. But we are here because of that fear, and it is all said, fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. So if you are not, fear is something like discipline is controlled way. If you go into the uncontrolled way, I'll be doing something else which may not good for my surrounding and society. If I'm being a fear, I will try to do something which normal people don't do that. But some of the things like help someone go beyond that. Like you want to reach to a place where there is a lot of fear and people are suffering there. So I want to reach to a place. I will not fear. I will not have that fear that anything happens to me. I will reach to that place and I'll help that people. In India, there are a lot of places where they require real help, but due to fear, we don't go there. We fear to venture into that. So that is the reason, if I don't have fear, I would love to go to a place where I can one day I can impact those people. At least a whole day if I spend with them, if I impact with them. Because there are a lot of fear, a lot of restrictions are there due to laws, abiding by the laws and all. So we get fear. But if I don't have the fear, I'll go to a place where they really need me for a day, spend time and enjoy my day. Thank you. Over to you, Dhruv.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jitendra, and it was a very nice idea by you that we could help someone if there we could not fear for a day. And last we have Toastmasters Diana's table topic. So the topic which I gave to her was, just a second, let me see. The topic was, if you had an extra hour each day, what would you do with it? So her table topic is, my extra work are more hours that each day that my job as computer work does in my mind, that organize paperwork for my boss, that too hard works with payday from boss. Someday I want to be retired from work. Thank you, Toastmaster Diana, for your wonderful table topic. And thank you everyone for actively taking part in today's table topic. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster. I don't know actually.
I'll be taking over.
Toastmaster Sharendra.
Yeah. So before we go further, I will be requesting the timer to give us his report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sharendra. So Toastmaster Bob has taken 1 minute 57 seconds. I have taken 1 minute 50 seconds. Toastmaster Mandeep has taken 1 minute 24 seconds. Toastmaster Sharendra has just crossed by 3 seconds. He has taken 2 minutes 18 seconds. Toastmaster Ragini has taken 1 minute 29 seconds. And Toastmaster Jitendra was on time, 2 minutes 14 seconds. I'm also pasting my report on the chat for everyone's reference. Over to you, Toastmaster Sharendra.
Which means that everyone has been able to meet the requirement of 2 minutes and 30 seconds, right? Okay.
Right.
Now, I'm not sure if Mandeep has been able to track her R counters. Mandeep, do you have a R counters report today? Or you came in a little late?
Sorry, sir. Unfortunately,
Okay, don't worry.
I joined late and I missed to make my report.
Fine. So I was also the grammarian, so I will give my report. While it was a very easy day in office today, it was during the table topics that I was able to get 2 changes, which I thought we could make a change there. Toastmaster Mandeep used the word hell lot of. I would request her to change it to say that a lot of or many things, instead of using the hell is a negative word which you should avoid. Now, Ragini also said, came in my head. It would be better if she used the phrase came into my mind. It would make more sense and would be better English. Besides that, I think everyone did a great job, and thank you, and over to myself. Because I think I have to close the meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for being present today, and some of you who have been attending Toastmasters meeting had the opportunity of excuse me, seeing the world in a different way, how communication and what Toastmaster teaches us of being a leader. We actually heard it from a person who implements it, who is a leader. He's a very modest person. Chandrasekhar Ramurthy is a very modest person. For all of you who don't know, Chandrasekhar was the sales director for Titan, and then he became the sales director for TI Cycles. And during his time, they became the #1 cycle sellers in the world. Ramurthy is also responsible for the Murugan Group. If you know, this is a South-based company and is better known for its companies like Murugan Finance. TI is part of them. A lot of sugar mills and other companies across southern India are there. They also have this company, which he has been specifically sent to handle. This is Amadi is one of the world's biggest manufacturers of carpets and rugs. And we are lucky that he was available today because he's normally traveling for about 20 days across the world in different forms. His factories are not only in Gurgaon, there are factories across 17 locations in Uttar Pradesh, because these are hand-woven carpets and rugs. Along with that, there are 6 factories that he handles, one in UK, in a place called Hatfield, and various other places in Spain, Italy, and Greece. We were really fortunate to have heard him today, and I'm sure all of us have learned a lot from him. He resonated of my times when I was also part of the Tatas and others, and there are so many stories about it. But he's a great human being, which is, I think, the biggest quality of being a manager. A leader has to be a very good human being. I thank each one of you who have spent time today, and I hope we had more people coming in and gaining from his expertise. But I'm sure once people hear about it from us, the recordings will be demanded by a lot of people, and we will provide them. Meanwhile, I would like to thank Bob for being here today and encouraging us. And I would request Bob to give us his opinion about what he felt about our talk show today. Bob, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Surendra. I'm sorry I can't turn on my video right now. I actually joined the meeting a bit late, so I kind of just caught the tail end of the talk show. But whatever I caught just made me feel that I missed a great session. And since I did not know the contest, I actually asked Toastmaster Ria about what was happening, and then she filled me up. And from there on, I did catch some of the final words from the speaker. It was an amazing. I mean, whatever I heard the last 5 minutes, it was amazing. And I just wish I had joined earlier for the talk show. But unfortunately.
I understand that.
If I had received the question today that Toastmaster Dhruv had asked, something that I could take back, go back and change, it would have been go back and actually join this meeting on time to have been part of the talk show from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, this was our 5th installment of the talk show. I would like to check with our members. How do you feel about this talk show? Are we gaining from it? Is there a lot of learning that we are getting, which is different from our Toastmaster meetings? We are trying to make it more interactive, more enjoyable, more learning. So how would you feel? Jitendra, what is your feeling?
Can you come again, sir?
I was asking you that this is the 5th installment of our talk show.
About this series. Okay.
So how do you feel
only thing
about
we
this?
need to shout out to the more people, because when a speaker is good or very good or excellent, whatever it is, we need to have more audience. So either the district should help us, but for circulating in among the district, because if this type of series, none of the clubs are doing, I guess. So
Yes.
this is really important, and since we have a area director from our club, so area director should take this forward, that when this type of sessions are being organized, this should be circulated. There might be many people who would love to join, but they are not getting the information, because we have an extended group, which is a guest group. There it doesn't reach the district, so it should reach. Although the EC members are sending it, I was trying to find the recording in the YouTube now. I thought I'll send across to people so they see it and they come for it. So we need to circulate it well. That is, when we call such people, people should get benefited, and we should have, so 9 numbers, where there 9 numbers doesn't look good. So Mandeep should take it forward.
Maddie, can I?
Director PR should do for the social media, and for the district, Mandeep should take it.
So I'd just like to add on, that was the point that actually just came to my mind also, regarding the reach of this, because yeah, exactly as Toastmaster Jitendra mentioned, the audience is not there. There are a few groups around who, like, one of them is, I don't know if Mandeep is a member of that or not. It's called Happening Now Toastmasters. So it's a WhatsApp group where if you post meetings, just it allows you to post meetings 10 minutes before it starts, or just when it starts, so that people get to know about the meeting and they join. So that's kind of a good resource to use.
Yes,
And
that is
especially for
there.
these kind of
That is there, and you have a World Toastmasters also. There also we can post in Facebook. Also, we have a World Toastmasters group. So whoever is handling the PR in our club. So apologies, I'm not that active here, being a veteran member here. So I would suggest whoever is the PR should put in there is a group, World Toastmasters group in Facebook, which will reach across the globe. Most of the top people are there. And when you see the profile of the speaker, you'll get it. And Happening Now is also there. World Toastmaster group is also there. So if you require help, you can find some time from my calendar. I can talk to whoever is doing the PR for that. Morning time, generally, I'm a bit free, so we can talk.
Good. Okay. Dhruv, your reactions.
I attended the talk show for the first time. I was not able to attend the first 4 talk shows, but I just loved this one. And the best part which I liked, that we also had a Q&A session for that, so that everyone could ask their questions. I loved the talk show, and just I believe it can be done for 1 hour, so that we can have more points from the speaker. I know today he had some work, so he had to go. But only thing which I think can be done is that it can be extended for 1 hour.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Diana, can we have your feedback by message, please, on how you feel about these talk shows that we do once a month? Meanwhile, can I request Ragini to give your inputs? This was, I think, your first talk show that you attended?
Yes, this was my first talk show. So it was very interesting. We got a lot of perspective from both his personal experience as well as the books that he has read, which was insightful. What I also uh, felt very nice is that the questions that were asked were very relevant to the topic. That means everybody was paying attention to the personality. That gives the importance to the experience that he brings to the platform. I would like such sessions to continue. There's just one change perhaps we can do is instead of having it on a regular Toastmaster days where people make time to practice for their sessions, probably we can have a separate sessions for those for when people want and could attend the session. The only reason I'm saying this is because people are coming here for practicing, and say for example, if there are enough participants who would want to still continue practicing for their curriculums at different stages, it will also support them to continue the journey. So we could
No.
perhaps have it a little
Yes,
breakout, but that's a suggestion that
no, perfectly okay. We will put it up in the EC and we will discuss this and we will see how we can work it out. But it's a good suggestion to make,
Very good
Ragini.
point. I think we can squeeze this to have once a month or quarter. In case we are having it during the regular meetings, 3 meetings for the for the club and 1 meeting for that weekend. We can campaign for the entire month to get more
Sure.
people. That weekend, 1 week
Right.
sometimes seems to be very less, being everybody is busy. But taking Ragini's suggestion, we can have this talk shows once a month where we want to reach out most of the people in the Toastmasters and also social media. And next 3 days in a month, you practice because we come here to practice. So yeah, that is
Sure.
case of
Right.
having it every month, every week. Let's have a monthly. And
No,
let's
our talk show is once a month. We
once a
have
month.
the
Yes.
first Wednesday of the month is the talk
Oh,
show.
you have once. Okay, then it's fine.
That's how we
okay.
do it.
Okay, this is my first, so I was just
Yeah,
wondering.
that's it.
Okay.
Mandeep,
Then it's
ma'am,
then it's fine. Okay.
ma'am, your inputs? I think Mandeep is busy somewhere. Yes, Diana has said that that meeting was very good. Group as stable topic. I improved speech better. Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate your thought process and all the way best. And Mandeep is attending a family function, so she's unable to respond. So, guys, thank you very much for being here today and encouraging all of us. Please start talking to your friends about, irrespective of whether they are Toastmasters or not, give them this opportunity of being exposed to what Toastmasters can do and what Blue Quest is trying to do in this forum. And I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday.
Before you
Same
end,
time.
one
Yes, sir.
suggestion.
Yes, sir.
I request the PPPR of the club to start the preparation from tomorrow itself.
Yes. Unfortunately, Sandeep, as you know, has moved to US for his post-graduation, and therefore, he's a little tied up. He tries to find time, and today, unfortunately, because of various reasons, he had sent me a message saying that he won't be able to come in. But I will communicate to him and request him to find time to communicate to various places. And you have given us one connect just now. I think I saw on the WhatsApp, you have given me a message, which is about a place where we can drop in that information. Am I right?
Yes.
So I'll take care of that. With that, ladies and gentlemen and Toastmasters, thank you very much and have a great week ahead.